Hello everybody, and welcome. This is Wounded Hero Tarot, and my name is James. Today, I'm going to use the Metaphysical Cannabis Oracle deck to take a look at the energies that you are currently embodying, and then I'm going to be using the Starman Tarot to do your 9-card tarot spread, and then I will be using the Light Seers Tarot to further clarify. Alright, so let's get started, shall we? What energies are the collective currently embodying? Oh, okay. Alright, so at the bottom of the deck, come on. Alright, so at the bottom of the deck we have Divine Feminine, Void. And then we have Osusi, Nature. And then we have Witch, Metaverse. Yeah, I've been getting the vibe that you're really going to be, or you really have been, rather, connecting a lot with your feminine side. I feel like you've really been stepping into that feminine energy here. And I feel like, a part of that here is, or rather, a part of what's helped you connect with that, feminine energy. What's really been helping you to embrace that feminine energy has been spending time with nature, or rather spending time in nature, really learning how to just go with the flow and let things be, right? And also, with nature, I also get that, you've really been sort of eating a lot more natural foods, more like fruits, vegetables, and stuff like that. And then with Witch, I really sort of get the vibe of maybe you're a sort of like a kitchen witch, maybe. You could be a cook or a baker, or you can be a sort of magician type energy where you transmute things. So maybe a mixture of Temperance and the Magician from the tarot. I feel like you've been really, and that's really what's brought you into this divine feminine energy, is all this transmutation you've been doing. Alright, so for the energies we're currently embodying, first we have Intergalactic Mastery, Confirmation. Now, if I remember correctly, that this particular card is a sign that you've completed a very, I don't know if I would say important cycle, but let me read from the card for this. From the book. Thank you. Alright, Intergalactic Mastery. This card appears when you have completed the upper levels of your journey and may not be giving yourself enough credit for it. This card is amplified when it appears with the Future Love Letter card. Here we see the Sirius star cluster with A, B, C. A small rainbow confirms that you've done the work. It is time to connect with the other galaxies and become a master of your chosen craft. When this card appears with Idagio, you can believe you will be supported by angels and guides, always, always. Intergalactic Mastery comes when you are getting confirmation as soon as you have a thought. Okay, light bays, now let's get confirmation. Love that. Alright, So there's also a crystal um, that they suggest you work with, and a like new thought pattern to work with. So first they say to work with hematite, and then for the new thought pattern, it is easy for me to silence the voice of my mind and maintain awareness. I find peace everywhere. Yeah, that's what I get with this next card too, with here where they speak of like not giving yourself enough credit for everything you've accomplished, for how far you've come here. So for the next card, nice little segue, we have enchantment, representing celebration, or rather it speaks of celebration. If my autofocus would quit being a jerk. That's just alright, there we go. Alright, so enchantment. And I wish there was a little part of this book where they showed the, what is it? Where it showed like the cards and their corresponding page numbers instead of just having to flip through the book. But anyway, enchantment, celebration. The enchantment card encourages you to raise your glass, and in this glass are your plant spirit companions, transmuted into the water to deliver joy and dancing and celebration. Hey, hey. We know through the study of epigenetics. Yeah, that's epigenetics. Okay. That is the environment that signals the gene, and not the other way around. If your emotions are the end product of any experience in an environment, it is your emotions that turn the gene expression on and off. So, especially if you feel sad and this card has come to you, toast to you and yours. Create a raised emotion, an elevated environment, and shift. Ask the plant spirit of cannabis to work with you through your beverages and allow her enchanting wisdom to be received. The plant spirit associated with this card is red clover. Right, so naturally a song comes to mind for this card, and I don't know if any of you listen to Pink, especially like back in the day, but she literally has a song called Raise Your Glass, I believe. But yeah, and it's like how I said before, right? You've really been transmuting a lot of energy, and that's what's, really brought you here to this point. And here in this card, it speaks of, transmuted into the water, or rather, let me start that phrase over. The enchantment card encourages you to raise your glass, and in this glass are your plant spirit companions, transmuted into the water to deliver joy and dancing and celebration. So to me, it's like, in a sense, you're really being asked to create your own happiness, your own joy, right? You're being asked to really embody a more raised mood, like a higher vibration. To shift the energies in your environment, because that could be, a part of what might make this journey a bit more difficult than it needs to be is your current environment. Alright, now, to get to the tarot spread. I forgot how long these cards are. They sort of difficult to shuffle. Things are going to be flying out like that. So let's try to make this shuffling short. What does the collective need to know at this time? One, two, Right. Ooh, okay. Excuse me. Yeah, there's a lot of feminine energy here. Ooh, okay. So, literally speaking of temperance, just a few moments ago, at the bottom of the deck here, we have temperance. And then we have the Prince of Cups, aka the Page of Cups. Along with the Eight of Pentacles. And then lastly there is the Four of Pentacles. Alright, let's see. Yeah, so I feel like with temperance, right, you were really, like, I feel like you were really getting into this, like, temperance magician energy. Sorry about that. My microphone died. Or at least I thought it did, but either way, it has been replaced. So let's move forward. Yeah, I was talking about temperance and the magician type energy. I feel like, you've really been going through a lot, like, internally here. There's been a lot of, like, I want to say, like, emotional baggage here with the Ten of Wands underneath temperance. Like, I get that there's been a lot of emotional baggage that you've really been needing to, like, release so that you can welcome in, the more positive energy. And then, here with the Prince of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and then we have the Four of Pentacles. Now this energy right here, I want to say that you've, again, as I said, you've been going through a lot internally. You've been doing, the work, the inner work. Now, the fuck, come on. So, with this energy, I want to say that, you've been really working on your, like, you've been working, like, on your mindset, on, what it is. You've been really working on, like, trying to figure out, like, what it is you're moving towards, what it is you want for you. Okay. And I feel like, once you have that figured out here with the Prince of Cups, then you're going to know what to move towards quickly enough, what with the Eight of Pentacles to put your energy into. So then, once you hit that Four of Pentacles, I feel like the Four of Pentacles here is really speaking to a sort of, like, selfishness, but, like, the healthy selfishness, you know what I mean? It's like in that show Schitt's Creek. It's time for you to take a selfish. right? It's time for you to take care of you and do what you need to for you. This dog is going to drive me insane. Alright, so for your tarot spread here, we have the 6 of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords, that's that inner conflict I was just talking about, and then we have the 4 of Wands. Now, I feel like this is all speaking to, like, giving back to yourself here with this 6 of Pentacles, right? I feel like, you're really treating yourself equal, right, to those around you. I feel like, you're the kind of person who, for the longest, you've been doing much more for other people, which kind of caused you to forget about yourself. So that's where I feel like this 8 of Swords comes in, right? Like you were really standing in your own way by doing that. Whereas now, I feel like this 6 of Pentacles represents, giving back to yourself. And this 8 of Swords is like you're no longer standing in your own way because you're here with the 4 of Wands, creating this like inner stability, this emotional stability, overall stability within the self. Which is good because, not only is it good in the obvious sense, but, you have to first embody what you want in a partner in order to attract them, in order to, like, energetically do that. Alright, so now we have the 3 of Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles, and the Princess of Cups. Alright, so with this 3 of Pentacles here, right, I really want to say that, creating that stability within the self makes it much easier for you to work with other people, to find, partnership. And with that 9 of Pentacles, I think it's really speaking to, like, your independence right now, that you know what you want and, like, how you want it when it comes to, like, life. You can now pursue that. You could start building that, essentially. Or, that could really speak to, in a sense, what you're looking for in a partner. It could really go both ways, honestly. Because with that Princess of Cups, right, I definitely get that, you're really learning how to communicate when it comes to your emotions or the things you require. Which makes so much sense because up next we have the Empress. With the Prince of Pentacles. And lastly, the Queen of Wands. And it's like this whole thing has been leading up to this Empress energy. This may even be connected to, I believe the reading I did yesterday. Yeah, the reading I did yesterday, there was also the Empress. But here, with the Empress to the Prince of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. Like, I feel like this has been a very, like, long, slow-moving journey to get here. But, it's definitely, it's worth it, because to have that, you know, confidence in the self, right? To have the courage to be able to go out there and do what it is you would like to do, to pursue your chosen life, your ideal life, the life that you dreamt of, right? You kind of need to be in this Empress and, Queen of Wands energy, because first, this Empress, I feel like, is speaking about how you've been taking care of yourself, right? I feel like, you've really been nurturing the self. There's a lot here about, like, taking care of yourself inwardly, but at the same time, what you do on the inside shows on the outside. So as you have this inner glow up, you're also outwardly glowing up, which this Queen of Wands also speaks to, a glow up. Outwardly, but also inwardly, because, it takes a lot for a person to get to a point where they have that, like, confidence in the self, assurance of their own, like, choices, right? And I feel like here you're really building that, inner stability, so that you can have a life with somebody else and have it be something that's, like, genuine. Alright, now to further clarify what the collective needs to know at this time. Alright, I'm not taking this for the spread, but here we have Judgment. Yeah, I definitely feel like, you're reevaluating a lot of things. You're not passing literal judgment, but oops, that's upside down, and now that's backwards. Alright, so what fell on the floor was the Hanged Man. If I could get this to focus, that would be great. Come on, there we go. So we have both the Judgment and the Hanged Man fall out. I definitely get that there's been, like, a change in perspective. You're realizing, that in order to, like, build this stability in self, you have to make some sacrifices. There are people, places, things that you're going to have to cut out in order to find that inner peace, that inner love. And as I say that, the Death card, Death and Rebirth, comes out. Yeah, you're definitely going through a major transformation at this time, or you will be very soon. Alright, one. Chill cards. And dog. Alright, let's see. 1, 2, 3. This freaking animal. So over it. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Alright, again, at the bottom of the deck, we have Justice. Now that's twice. We have the Empress. and then we have the Ace of Cups. Yeah. You know, this is, in a sense, like, with justice, right? I want to say that this was all meant to happen, right? The way it has, like, down to the timing, right? Like, I feel like this is definitely also a case of divine timing, with also having the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck and having the Queen of Wands out here. Like, I feel like you're really balancing your masculine and your feminine, and this, like, last step for you was really stepping into this feminine energy where you learn how to nurture and take care of yourself, as well as, you know, your relationships and those around you, your inner ecosystem, your inner landscape. And, you know, with this Ace of Cups, like, this is you reaching that point where, you know, you're able to fill your cup to the point that it's overflowing. Alright, so to further clarify the Six of Pentacles here, we have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, you know, I feel like this is like this, the Six of Pentacles is like a part of your like past, in a sense. It's like how I was talking about before, you were always giving to others and you were essentially forgetting about yourself and not giving back to the self. You were just giving it out to others, which, you know, would put you in this exhausted energy. Like, it made you feel like, you know, you really, like, you eventually realize you can't keep going on like that. And now to further clarify the Eight of Swords here, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, because, you know, for a while, right, as I said before, you were really standing in your own way. You know, all you had to do was, like, put the energy back into you instead of constantly putting it into others. So with this Seven of Pentacles, like, I definitely get that, you know, this being stuck in your head, standing in your own way, right? This caused you eventually to really, like, take a look at the things that you're doing with your life, the people that you put your energy and time into, the relationships that you put your time and energy into. And I feel like, in a sense, that's what made you realize, you know, you need to put that back into you instead of into others, right? You need to start planting seeds for you instead of others. Now, to further clarify the Four of Wands here, we have the Page of Cups. Yeah, you know, I feel like this is really speaking about, like, you finding that, you know, emotional stability within self. Like, it started out, right, with that curiosity. And the deeper you got, you know, the more, like, stable of a foundation you were able to build within yourself. Please excuse this dog. This is ridiculous. She doesn't know when to shut up. Alright, and then we have the Three of Pentacles. So to further clarify this Three of Pentacles, we have the Chariot. Yeah, you know, I feel like once you find that, you know, emotional stability, that overall stability within self, that is going to draw people who also have that, you know, emotional and inner stability, and that's going to draw them to you energetically. That's like, once you embody that, once you really reach that point, you know, you're going to start attracting these sorts of individuals like with the quickness, right? I feel like you're going to have a lot more success when it comes to partnerships of any kind. Alright, next, to further clarify the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Hell yeah. I feel like this Eight of Pentacles really speaks to like learning, right? Maybe not so much doing like physical work, physical building, but I feel like it speaks to, a sort of like being a sort of student, right? A student of the universe here. And you've really been learning as you've been, stepping into this more independent energy. You've been learning about what it is you want to build, how to start building it, right? How to get you to that end point there. Now, to further clarify the Princess of Cups, we have the Moon. Yeah, I get that you're really doing, or you will be going on a really deep dive into, your subconscious, within, into a lot of like unknown parts of yourself. This is why I need to go somewhere else to do these things. Alright, now to further clarify the Empress here, we have Strength. Ooh, come on. Are we going to focus? Focus, there we go. I think that focused for like a moment. Yeah, I feel like it took a lot of strength, a lot of patience, a lot of like empathy, even a lot of, there's been a lot of having to give yourself grace to get to this particular point where you embody this Empress energy. And like we've already had the Empress like twice here. Okay, so that's some pretty strong energy right there. Alright, next up we have the Prince of Pentacles, further clarified by the Six of Swords. Yeah, it may have taken quite a while to get here, right? It may have been a long, slow road to this destination of, that inner balance, but with the Six of Swords here, right, you're finally moving on from that difficulty, right? You're moving on from that Ten of Wands-ish energy where, now things are a lot easier. You don't have nearly as many burdens to deal with because you've been doing the work and you're understanding here with that like Six of Pentacles, the give and take of the universe, how energy works. Alright, lastly, we have the Queen of Wands. To further clarify the Queen of Wands, we have the Emperor. Yeah, this Queen of Wands energy, right, it's really putting you in a position of power, in a sense. And what a position of power is to you is unique to your perspective and your experience here as a human. But I want to say, okay, that, again, to me, this is sort of speaking to like a balance of the masculine and feminine, being able to be in a position of power without being overtaken by the ego. Instead, you're handling it, healthily from a place of genuine confidence, genuine courage that you've taken time to really build up. Excuse me. here for yourself. All right, so this is the message, or rather the messages that I have for you today. I do hope it serves you well. Be gentle with yourselves. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye now.